Hey everyone, this is Norbert, and today we have a special guest, and we have a top 64 Elfnote Kashtira list. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello guys, I'm Edward. Some of you might already know me for playing like 60 card pile decks. Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard from some French people that you are notorious for playing 60 card lists and a bit more unconventional lists, which this Elfnote deck is, but there are a lot of interesting things in here. You already told me a couple of things about it, but I'm sure going through the whole deck list is going to be very interesting. So
Yeah,
the plan is we're going to go over the whole deck list, and then we can, at the end, also show a combo. So let's start off with the first card is, of course, Elfnote Regina. It's just a 3 of. It's,
classic. Yeah.
yeah, 3 Lucina, 3 Tinia, 1 Fortuna. This is pretty standard. There are 2 Elfnote Power Patrons. They're also pretty standard. Although, I was thinking, did you consider playing a third one? Because this plus any of your Kashtira is already a starter, and it's also an extender with any Elfnote body.
Yeah, but the thing is, we needed sidecars for the format, especially against Branded and Strikers or Mitsurugi and Doomsday. So we needed like power cards, which are Deko Senka and Lava Golems. So we couldn't
Mhm.
afford to play too many normal summons.
Okay, okay. All right. So then we have the 2 Power Patrons, just standard, and then 2 Meteors. We just talked about normal summons. How do you feel about, why did you decide on 2 Meteors? Most of the people cut it down to 1 after support tool.
Um, it's mainly for the starter ratio. With that many starters, I think I was around 94% to see a starter going first. So yeah, and that was the best normal, the best starter after all the other rest. So yeah,
Okay, so for you, that's the second Meteors. I had the same thought with my list. I just put in a second Vidolium because it's an extender, but of course Vidolium is worse into Droll, and it's not the best
yeah,
starter because it just grabs you Terminus and that grabs you Meteors, and that's a weak line into Droll. So yeah, I can see the second Meteors for the consistency. Next up we have Fenrir. Fenrir is of course probably the best Kashtira here. We have 3 Fenrir, 2 Unicorn. It's just because Fenrir grabs Unicorn, right? And Fenrir
yeah,
is better going second, I assume. So that's the ratio here. I wanted to
yeah.
ask, generally, for going second, how good was Fenrir going second? And how good was Unicorn going second?
Fenrir Gersenken is interesting because most people will say that Kashtira cards are bad going second
Yeah,
because they just eat the Fallen and Futures.
yeah,
But in my opinion, it's good because it eats Fallen and Futures, right?
yeah.
And if they don't interact with it, you grab Unicorn and then you can like generate so much. So I think it's really, really good, especially if the opponent doesn't know what you're playing.
Yeah, especially since the interactions that beat Fenrir are also the ones that beat your elf nodes. So I
Yeah,
figure you don't have enough pops to answer Fenrir and Tinia and
and
Lucina, right? Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I like that. And Kashtira Unicorn, did you like? Was that a thing going second, or did you side it out going second? What is the deal here?
No, often I settled one,
Huh?
and in like grinding matchups I keep the birth, and
Mm-hmm.
in like most FTK matchups I remove the birth.
Yeah.
But the most important with unicorn is that it's a win for Shina that we
Yeah.
will see later,
Yeah.
and it's important to remove some of the fusions that Brendan can make.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, so often you can just summon unicorn, first on battle phase, remove one extra deck monster
Yeah.
that's it's annoying, then you can play the game.
Yeah, yeah. When I tested a Kashtira list, I think I had the Fuvalos in main and the Kashtira Unicorn and the Birth in this side. You opted to do the opposite of that. I've heard like a lot of people already said that they're not a big fan of Fuvalos main in this format. How do you think about that? Obviously, you have it in the
Absolutely.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree. To be fair, I'm playing it side because it was French Nats and we called it the jungle. A lot of different decks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the most represented deck was Mitsurugi with 15%, if I remember correctly.
yeah, yeah. Mitsu was, I
It's not
think,
a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think if I was preparing for a small event, I wouldn't play Walls at all, I think.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so it depends on the matchup whether the unicorn is good going second, you said, right?
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
birth, of course, is for grindier matchups, which we get to the birth in a second, but
Yeah.
it's a very important card. Oh, let's just move the birth up here because we had Kashtira segment. I played a lot of different Elf Note variants, and one thing that like a pure-ish version of Elf Note lacks is grind game, and I think Kashtira Birth helps a lot with that. Plus, in testing, Branded was really rough because you can break the board, but then they just add 5 in the end phase and they just obliterate you in the next turn.
That's kind of true, yeah. But I faced like 6 or 8 branded in this tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost only to one round one
Okay.
because I bricked game 3.
Yeah.
This version of the deck was insane against branded. Like the matchup is like I almost want to say it's like 90-10,
Okay.
just
These
because
are
of
good
the
odds.
non-engines we're
Yeah.
running. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
the Kashtiras and super volley like droplets. Like if
Yeah.
you're playing a hand trap version of the deck, you will lose to branded, and if you play
For
a
sure.
breaker
For
version of the
sure.
deck, you just win.
Yeah. Yeah. Hand traps into branded and into cool tune. I
Yeah,
obviously I started with the elf note hand trap variant, and it just felt like you just hand looping yourself.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, and Kashtira's like banishing face down is so good. Just for the resource game, of course, Dogma can revive it, but Dogma recover it. But Dogma is a bit expensive to go into to revive your resources. So
Yeah,
taking out
and
resources with these is very good. I also had like a game against Cooltune with Kashtira Unicorn, where in my turn I took out one track maker, and in their turn I took out the second one, and that
yeah.
killed their grand game. All right. So this is probably the most interesting card of the whole deck, and that is Sheena, the Twin Tempests of Celestial Thunder. I actually, because of you, I ordered a playset because this seems really fun. Tell me a bit about Sheena.
So we needed a card that has high impact going second,
Yeah.
and a card that wins you the game on the spot if you went first.
Mm-hmm.
And we are looking a lot of options with my French Donax, and which built the list with me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we found like Sheena was perfect for that slot. Because at the beginning we weren't playing like Super Body, we were playing like Izuna and Lupis
Oh,
to make
yeah.
Reaper turn 0 to have Sheena live.
Yeah.
So we kept the Sheena in, and we replaced the Lupis and Izuna with Super Body, which is basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it did pretty well. Like, of course, sometimes you're gonna break on it and you won't be able to use it or lose because of it.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that it will win you more games than it will lose you games. And in a deck that has I will not say bad going second, but not insane going second.
Yeah.
Like the F dot engine isn't insane going second.
Yeah.
You have to take those risks,
Mm-hmm.
and it did well for me and for my other friend that also played the same list. He went like really far, day 2, didn't
Yeah.
top 6, I think he went, like, X5 at the end, so a really good result as well, so
Yeah.
we made the deck perform.
If you think about it, like comparing it to Ash Blossom, it's like most people obviously run Ash Blossom in the main deck, and
Yeah,
playing Ash Blossom sometimes, of course, you can activate it. Sometimes you can't activate Sheena, but you activate Ash Blossom and sometimes it just does nothing, right?
it does
You might
nothing, yeah,
as you might get it out of your hand and you said, okay, I activated my Ash, but it didn't really get you anywhere. It's the same
exactly.
thing as a Sheena that is stuck in your hand. The canine portion is interesting. Why did you decide to cut it? Because we were also in our group after seeing this list talking about Ripper being a wind and that enabling the Sheena,
Yeah,
plus canine are bodies that you can get on board. They pressure. However, I was a bit concerned about canine into the two top decks because both Branded and Cool Tune have easy ways to remove an untargetable Xyz with like Alba's Fusion and Trackmaker Bounce. So why did you
yeah,
decide to cut
so
the canine?
exactly. The main issue is even before that is that you won't be able to resolve, XYZ most of the
Mm-hmm.
time. Because of Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre, Ash
Yeah,
Blossom
yeah,
onto Izuna, Spark, Droplets, Fallen Virtues. Like in testing, we didn't resolve much Izuna to be fair. Like
mm-hmm.
it traded into non-engine, which is not bad,
Yeah,
but the levels of Izuna isn't that good, and yeah,
yeah,
overall like it's like near impossible to resolve, and
yeah,
we wanted another way to put a wind body on the field,
yeah,
and Super Poly did the job perfectly.
yeah. And if you think about it, also the spot where you can actually activate Izuna against Kultune is either they activate Rotary, that's a good spot because then you can go Val and Book of Moon.
Yeah,
But if they don't have Rotary starting hand, the first option you will have is when they made the Track Maker. And at that point,
exactly.
you summon the Ripper, not the Ripper, the Izuna. They add the Kultune Synchro, and they already have the out for your
Exactly.
Xyz
It's for
summon.
you,
Yeah,
Olympus, yeah.
yeah. So
So that's why.
that's a big reason why I'm a bit shaky on the Ripper here. Yeah. So next up we have Harmonia. Of course, Harmonia is nothing you have to justify in a deck list. This
Yeah.
card is crazy, but
Obviously.
I had a question for Harmonia, and is how did you ever have Harmonia conflict with your Kashtiras, or did you just, if you had both, you just said, okay, if I don't get an insane Harmonia here, I'm going to keep it as a board breaker?
Yeah, that's exactly how I was thinking. If the Harmonia isn't that great of impact during my opponent's turn, I would just keep it for my cashiers. And um, the most important part, to be honest, is that um, when it doesn't have that much of an impact, summoning a Kashtira card often will be better.
Hmm.
So you can just keep it for as a board breaker, and it's totally fine.
Okay, and you also told me that you one time normal summoned this because it's a level 7 with birth. This
Yeah,
doesn't have to be a Kashtira, it's just level 7 monsters.
yeah,
And
exactly.
you just got the extra damage on board, which is really funny.
Yeah,
All right. I had another question about Sheena. Before we
yeah,
move on, I forgot to ask that. Did you ever get off the turn zero Sheena with Regina?
yeah. I did like one or two times. It's
Yeah.
like they can't see it happening. Like they don't even like
Yeah.
children can see it because they look
They
at your
saw your
hand,
hand. Yeah.
but the other decks can't, and it does way too much.
Yeah. And like normally when you activate Regina, it's such a huge risk because if your opponent somehow interacts with it, you're screwed. But here you can just go chain Sheena, bounce it. The only
Yeah,
punish I think is Fallen the Virtuous or like Droplet or anything. But usually they will. You can do it end phase, right? Regina has end
yeah,
phase, and then they have
always
set their cards, and then you do that. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool.
really
Did
cool.
like the Cool Tune players seeing the Sheena, how did that impact the play?
To be honest, in the tournament, I didn't play Kuchen player that saw Shina,
Okay.
so nothing to say here. But in testing, um, they had to be very cautious with a wind hitting the field, so they had to preemptively hit something. Like they had to pop the welcome home. They
Hmm.
had to stop. They had to pop the unicorn, and yeah, a lot of things like that.
So next up we have the Bestial Magnamut. This has been finding its way into a lot of main decks right now because even if you don't have perfect targets against Cool Tune, you just banish a Q, whatever, and then you shuffle your deck. So the top deck that they gave you is going to be shuffled. That's already very valuable. But in this deck list, you can also search Harmonia and Sheena. So your most
Exactly.
impactful hand traps you can just grab with the Magnamut. And of course, it's very, very good into branded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only conventional hand trap in your deck is Droll and Lockbird. I've seen some people saying that they hated opening Droll. How was the Droll for you?
So it was French national,
Hmm.
so we decided to play main deck draw.
Yeah.
In my feature match, I drew draw against Mitsurugi, so it did the job.
Hmm.
So yeah, nothing else to say about it. Like it's a risky card into I mean into Kulchun, and it's useless against branded. But
Yeah.
we decided to main deck it because the deck has already such a good matchup into branded that we didn't care if we had one non-engine that doesn't do the job against it.
Yeah. I felt like when I played a list like this with Fenrir, like having a smaller board to beat with a Droll,
Yeah,
Fenrir has a lot more impact because they don't get to everything, right? You can make them
exactly.
end on a smaller board and then just summon a big guy and pressure.
Yeah,
Prosperity. This is a card I never imagined in my Elf Notice because the lists I play are usually very tight because I have so much utility in my extra. But this was a bit eye-opening for me because you have a lot of utility in your extra deck that I don't.
I
Um,
only have that. I never banished 3 with my prosperity. Always 6.
okay. Is there like, do you just go like, okay, you don't have super poly, or like, depending on the matchup, you banish the targets that are not needed, or
Yeah, I banish 1 or 2 super poly targets.
yeah,
I banish often the Black Rose if I'm going first,
yeah, for sure,
the Fabled guy.
yeah,
Then I will just choose between what I don't need, and then if I see super poly, I can just grab it. Like I can grab everything from my deck. To be fair,
yeah, and then I assume one Harmonia target because you have three
yeah,
here, yeah,
often, yeah,
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 it could
and
be.
okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Then we have the called by and the talents. I
Uh,
think it's just like power one-offs,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Super Poly, we talked about it a lot. And of course, this gets you Mud Dragon, which can be a wind if you want it to be a wind. We have Forbidden Droplet. The most popular Forbidden card is Crown at the moment. Why did you opt to play Droplet over Crown?
So we talked about Harmonia conflicting with the Kashtira cards, right?
Yes.
So Droplet did the job perfectly, where when you have to Harmonia turn 0
Hmm.
and you have a Kashtira in hand, then you can just cost your Harmonia of Droplets,
That is true.
get value of the body, get value of the pop, and
Yeah.
then summon your Kashtira cards. And like getting Medius to Grave also is good, and sometimes you can like droplet the terminus in the battle phase and they can't see it coming, so you can
Oh,
like get the free remove
and
something
that's
for free.
already in damage step. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how was I played Droplet too, but I thought the cost was often too much. Now, obviously, the Kashtiras get you card advantage on their own, but did you ever have issues like with cards you didn't want to send, or was it always easy to send cards to?
No, like I remember one duel I was under draw, so I couldn't generate, so it was a
Yeah.
bit scuffed. But
Hmm.
other than that, like you always have something to send, I feel like.
Okay. Yeah. And did you dodge anything with the Droplet with the Elf Notes at some point? Was it
Yeah, yeah,
valuable
yeah.
there physically? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did dodge sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
One
Okay.
spell or
Yeah.
one on or I think it was imperm
Hmm.
or like when something is guaranteed to die because of like a fallen virtuous, then
Yeah.
it's a free send for droplet, right?
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have the three terminus, which is also
Yeah,
pretty standard.
very
I,
standard.
I saw some people playing Theorealize in their list, but like one of them was a Fiendsmith list. Of course, then Theorealize is better there. But yeah, this pretty much has been standard now
Yeah.
that it's released. We talked about the birth, and then we have the standard 1 and 1 of the Welcome Home and the Rhapsodia. So that is the main deck. Going to the side, we have the three Ash and the three Fuva. I would say we talk about them together because these have been main deck staples until now, but now they're in the side deck, and you can just explain why.
So we didn't want like bad cards as non-engine in our deck. So basically how I see it is that if I ever to brick, I don't want to brick on Ash, on Ogre,
Yeah,
on Gospel. I want to brick on Kashtira cards, I want to brick on Sheena, I want to brick on Harmonia, Super Poly, Droplets. I want like my non-engine to have impact, and I want to win games of my non-engine. Like I I can lethal with my non-engine.
yeah,
Whereas Kultun, like if they like use 5 hand traps, they can't play the game at the turn 2, right?
yeah,
So that's why for me, Ash is only a going first card,
yeah,
unless like they playing a FTK deck or like Power Patron Malice or something, you can put it like going second.
yeah,
But it's just there to stop for us, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. It's sadly the story of Ash Blossom. It's a deck.
Yeah,
It's kind of a cult by the grave most of the
exactly.
time now. But like speaking of the Kashtira engine, we saw you on feature win a game off of just Kashtira control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool to see. Yeah, and Fuva is the
Yep.
same logic.
Yeah, same logic. Like, it's only good going second. I don't
Yeah,
want to see it going first,
yeah.
so just put it in the side deck.
Okay,
It's good enough.
yeah. Then we have Denkoseka and Lava Golem. We have been on this at the beginning, and then I think we decided on one of them. What are your feelings about them? Like, did one outperform the other? Would you still play the whole package, or
I will play all 6 of them
yeah?
because they don't cover the same matchups.
Hmm.
They all like every time I saw them in the matchup I wanted them to, they
Yeah,
just won the game.
yeah.
Like Denko Seka won me the game against Branded and Mitsurugi.
Hmm.
I didn't play against Sky Striker, but I think he would have carried the game too because
Yeah,
now I think they are on accusation and some don't even play judgment.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when you normal summon Denko, you might just win the game on the spot.
Yeah, whereas something like a Lightning Storm or Feather Duster will
Yeah,
get eaten
could be
by
stopped.
accusation. Yeah. I had a
Yeah,
game in testing with Denkoseka and the Sky Striker. It was just like set 5 and 0. I go normal summon Denkoseka, they activate 0, I bell, and then that was the game.
yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly.
Yeah. Three Lightning Storm, you said in the French deck profile that you just didn't find the Feather Duster, I think. or what was the story?
It's like because I tested the deck, on Friday during the 3
Yeah.
events, and, I was too lazy to get a duster from another deck box
Okay.
because it was in the car, and so I submitted a list like that, and during the main event, I forgot that I didn't put the feather duster, so I played like three lightning storm instead.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So let's go to the extra deck. We have
Yeah.
the standard Super Poly targets are, of course, Mud Dragon, Sea Monster of Theseus, and Garura. And then we have the Secretarian as a extra card. First, I wanted to talk about Theseus. Some people have been cutting this, and some people have been saying, I don't want to take the gamble of my opponent, respecting it or not. Is that the same logic here? You just don't want to take the gamble?
It's more than that. It's like in testing, we happen to have like 2 or 3 games in a row
Yeah.
where we went first, and we had the super poly, but we didn't have the target for it.
Hmm.
So at that point, we were like, okay, do we play it? And in the end, we saw that we had the space to play it. So
Yeah.
even though it might not come up as much, because we have space, we might as well just play it.
Yeah, otherwise going for a Super Poly is a dead card into
Yeah,
Kultun. Yeah,
into
yeah,
Q2,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And then Garura is just for every random deck. It's not like I saw people play Super Poly without Garura because not many decks play into it. But if you expect a wide field, then Garura is obviously good. And then
Yeah.
Secretarian was for branded, I assume?
No, it's for Q2
For
actually.
Kultun. Okay, explain that.
Yeah, if at the first it was for Kyujin, and then we saw that against branded is also really good,
Yeah,
so we just kept it. So the logic against Kyujin is that when they see Super Poly,
yeah,
they might end on like Zalen
yeah,
and nothing, and like two KTSs, let's say.
yeah.
So you can just summon like Lucina or Tinia, you activate effects. If
Hmm.
they ever chain KTS, you can just chain Super Poly, you
Oh,
get rid of Zalen, and you have
yeah.
the Secretary.
Yeah, you
So
prevent
yeah.
the Zelen negate, you
You prevent
prevent the
back-to-back as well.
synchro of
Yeah,
that's really smart. Yeah. And
exactly.
then
So, yeah, in the deck, often I use Super Poly on my stuff.
mhm.
Like, I lethal somebody, after attacking with everything, and then I use Super Poly to make a secreton of crystalling and the body,
Oh, yeah.
because yeah.
Did the revive effect come up for Secretarian?
Yes, a lot actually.
So you can shuffle
Yeah.
back one of these dragons or one of your extra deck monsters and resummon a elf note,
More
right?
like I shuffle back a Spellcaster, and I can summon back the Crystal Ring, which is the
Yeah,
almost the only way to summon it back.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty good. Then we have
So,
SP. I
next,
assume
and
this is
then yeah,
just utility, cleaning your middle monster zone in the grind game, right?
exactly. Yeah.
No specific thing you want to out with this, like Di-Fi or something,
Mm.
or was it just
No, no,
okay?
not even. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just like you play it because it's a good card.
yeah, and Omega is important for the combo that we're gonna see in a second.
Yeah,
Then we have the three Harmonia targets. Did you hard make Packbit at some point? It is a level 8,
Backpit
right?
and Wind Pegasus actually.
Oh,
Like Pegasus is really, really good to make.
what does Wind Pegasus do in the field? Destroy
It's basically
spells?
MST.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
MST,
it's MST.
and it's a level
Yeah,
7, right? And it's a wind.
exactly. Yes.
That's
So
some yeah.
yeah, I made it a lot actually.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty nice.
So
Hmm.
Wind Pegasus is one of the reason why you have such a good branded matchup, because if they ever set Retribution, you're always gonna pop it with Wind Pegasus.
Yeah.
And they can't stop it, right? Like,
Hmm.
they don't have a monster negate, so you
Yeah.
just pop the Retribution, activate the spell, and then you just snowball after that.
Yeah. Then we have
And
Monk.
Packbeat came up against Doomsday. I was under Di-Fi.
Hmm.
Um, I think, yeah. So I lived with Harmonia on field, and I top deck draw. So I normal summon troll, make pack beat. I put the Jupiter onto the EMZ. Onto the scale,
Hmm.
and then Doomsday doesn't have anybody that has more than 2/9. So I
Hmm.
just beat him down with pack beat with like 6 turn, I think.
That's pretty funny. Okay.
Yeah. So he did his job, and also he can avoid the poor person FTK if you use Harmonia just after Beyond, and you put something into the scale. They can bend, so
Yeah.
they can't like play the game at all.
Yeah. 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 That is pretty good. Malong, I doubt you hard make this. Like I heard that some
No.
people can hard make this if you have Meteors and they have RS, then the power
Yeah.
patron becomes level 2, and then you can make Malong. But that only makes sense if you also play the level 12 Snake,
Yeah,
which
we
you don't.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragster is pretty standard. Strelitzia is
Yeah.
standard. Crystalling is standard. These are like usually what you end on, right? You go
Yeah.
from this into Dawn Dragster, and that's it. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Junora, did you summon this off of the
Yes.
Junoldo? Oh,
General, and it's often my game plan into Kultun if I get forward actually.
you get Fuvat.
Yeah, so you end on Sredsha plus as much F note as you can,
Yeah.
and then during their turn you can make the Junora, and you
Oh,
can try to
right.
lock every zone they
Yeah.
have the tuners in.
Yeah. 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 That makes sense. Yeah. The line I did against Fuva usually was like Axel synchro stuff, but that is
Yeah.
extra deck heavy, and you already have 4 super poly targets,
Yeah.
so that is a decent plan for that. And then the Fabled, I think you said in the French profile that this is the Sheena is a level 9 plus the Elfnote Power Patron is 10. So
Yeah,
yeah. Did you ever
and
make this off of the Elfnote too, or did you
of
always go
course,
for a 7? Okay.
like it's a good removal. Like I,
Yeah.
I I usually like try to make it. I steal something and then I cast it with trap or spell,
Mm-hmm.
and that removes the body without triggering like the destroying effect
Yeah, Mirage Edge.
if this card you control is sent to the graveyard or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I also like it against Cooltune because it's non-targeting take negates. So
Yes.
if they normal summon, you just take it. They can't Cooltune synchro because then you just take the
No.
track maker, and that's pretty good. And then
Yeah.
Black Rose Dragon. At the beginning I was like, okay, this is broken. Then I played. Then I thought maybe it's not as good because people won't let you synchro, but people actually let you synchro, or they can't always prevent
Stop.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also heard it's a
So
skill check for some people. They don't expect the Black Rose, but even if they know about the Black Rose, it eats a lot of resources for them to prevent it.
yeah. So I played against the Finsmith Yami,
Mm-hmm.
and Yami can't play the game if you don't start chains.
Yeah.
So he had like a full board. I summoned Tinia. I normal summoned the patron.
Yeah.
I got Black Rose 1/2, and
Yeah.
everything was blown up.
Yeah.
And one of the reason why I kept Black Rose in is because in my testing group,
Mm-hmm.
somebody was testing any aircraft,
Oh. Yeah.
and they any aircraft can't do anything about Black Rose. If
Yeah.
if they don't know it's coming,
Yeah.
you're just gonna resolve and you're gonna win the game of it.
Yeah. Also, from my experience, the an aircraft matchup is annoying for an aircraft because Elfnote doesn't really build chains, right? They just summon a
Yes.
body, activate one effect, and like if you even activate an effect, right? You can also just summon a body, normal summon the patron. They're just sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they see the whole field getting blown up,
Yeah.
and yeah.
All right, that's the deck profile. Let's go hop into the combo. So here we are with the solo mode. We have Fenrir and Elfman Paw Patron and 3 blanks. So walk me through this combo.
Yeah, so you summon Fenrir, and if you don't respect Droll, because your hand can play around it, you can just search Unicorn, at which point, if it resolve, then they're gonna have a hard time beating you because this is the one of the best combo you have in deck. So you normal summon, you make Omega, you can do your search, and then you can absolutely now banish something.
What do you search of the Paw Patron?
Usually I search Lucina here, but you can search Tinia, it works the same.
Let me go rip a card
So
from their
what I
hand.
like is that if you actually open both Unicorn and Fenrir, you
Mm-hmm.
can like chaining one patron to search, chaining two Omega to banish, and hopefully if you maybe you can hit the draw, and then you can search
Yeah.
like freely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you can summon Unicorn, like grab the birth, and
Yeah.
then you can keep going with the F note stuff here, and you keep the birth in hand until you finish your turn
Yeah. So you go
to play around
Lucina,
Nibiru as much as possible. Yeah. Lucina
you
grab Regina, and yeah,
go
and can
Regina.
go Regina effect, summon the middle, summon blue, replace spell, and then spell will summon Fortuna.
So here, where is the spell? It's here. Then we send the Tinia.
Yes, for Fortuna, which is bottom left.
Yep. And then
And
Fortuna
then,
gets us the Rhapsody.
yes.
All right.
Yeah, and so here we have a choice to make.
Mhm.
Do we want to enter onto both Unicorn and Fenrir, or do you want to play against around Super Poly? So more in the blind game state, I will go trap cost Unicorn to play around Super Poly.
Mhm. Let's
So
do
you don't
that.
end on, yeah, and summon back the patron,
Yep.
and then you can make Sritia.
We make Strelitzia. We grab
Can
back
summon
the
back the
Regina.
patron. Yes,
And then
let's not
this
forget
gets
about
the
that.
patron.
And then you can end on Crystal Wing.
And then we go Birth.
Birth, yeah, you can make Birth.
And bring back the Fenrir, which is
Oh,
Earth.
yes. So you absolutely play around Super Boy. So
Yep.
one thing to take note into is that during the tournament, I was always putting my Crystal Wing in the middle zone to
Yep.
play around
Fun bridges.
Mitsurugi.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they can summon Murakumo, they can't get rid of it. So you're just chilling for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
popping this with Fond the
yes,
Virtues also. You
exactly.
don't have to waste your Rhapsodia.
And since you're ending on Fortuna, you can actually switch it out of the middle zone whenever you want to
Yeah.
trigger your Regina. So that's why I thought it was better to end on that
Yeah.
to run this properly.
Yeah. And if they somehow deny the Fortuna because they have dropped it on anything, you can still just Rhapsodia send the
Yeah,
Crystal Wing for probably Strelitzia. It's fire,
yes.
depending on what you want.
Don't have anything, yeah.
Yeah. So the opponent has 4 cards in hand. You also have 4 cards in hand, but you have Birth, you have Crystal Wing, you have Fenrir, you have the Negate, you have a Regina in hand, and 3 more cards, which are hopefully also useful
Exactly.
in this situation. So yeah, this is a pretty cool combo. Plus, because you have a Kashtira on the field, you have the Birth. If they
Like, yeah.
play a spell, you just banish their graveyard. If that's useful for the matchup. And how would the board look like if you didn't play around Super Poly?
Then you have like a unicorn on top on the left and don't have Fortuna on the field.
Yeah, because you sent the Fortuna instead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and then you have more grind game here. What
exactly.
matchups would you go for Unicorn instead?
I think if I know they don't play Super Poly, I will just go Unicorn.
Okay,
Like if in game 1 or 2 you looked at the extra deck and you didn't see like Super Poly targets, you
yeah,
can just end
that's
on
fair.
Unicorn.
That's fair. All
And
right.
that's good. It's really good because you can just get free information
Yeah,
like to plan your game through 2 and 3.
yeah. Two can play that game now. Cool tune and
Exactly.
this. Yeah. So yeah, this was very, very informative. I learned a lot, and once my Shinas arrive, I'm gonna take this deck for a spin for sure. Do you have any shout outs to give?
Yeah, so shout outs again to my boy Donax who built the deck with me. And Luca and Hamza and Valentin, who played the deck with me at the French National. So 2 out of the 4 made day 2, so I think it shows that the deck is good. And I think the other 2 like ended on 6-3, so
Hmm.
it really shows that the deck like is really good into the format right now.
Yeah, for sure.
The if you want to know the Brandon matchup, I think it's really really good, and I think the culture matchup is like maybe 60-40 or 50-50.
Hmm.
Um, just summoning Fenrir does too much into
Yeah.
a Kyojin board. So yeah, I think it's really really good right now.
Is there anything in the list you would change beyond the Harpy's Feather Duster?
Yes. So right now we are looking at maybe playing Free Fallen and Virtues. Like
Hmm.
we just still don't know what to cut for
Yeah.
now, but after seeing like the Kyojins at Nationals win the game, I mean win the tournament, they had a sick combo with Harmonia plus Fallen Virtues, which is
Hmm.
really really good going second. So basically, you go Harmonia and Ecclesia
Yeah.
during the opponent's turn, and then your Fallen Virtues becomes way better on your
Yeah.
turn. Like you either send Albion and have the free shuffle, or Fallen Virtues becomes a Monster Reborn. So
Yeah.
it's a cool interaction to have for sure.
Yeah. Would you take the Super Poly out, or is Super Poly just too good?
No, Super Pod is just way too good
Yeah.
in the format right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Theseus will for sure be cut
Hmm.
if we play the fun virtuos because it just makes your curtain matchup better,
Yeah.
and then we have to think for the second target.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right. Cool. So yeah, thank you for being here. Again, I probably learned a lot here, and it was really cool to see all the explanations for the cards and the small little interactions. And hopefully, a lot of people can also see this deck and learn a lot more about how to play Elfnote because I think it's still a bit underexplored. So let's see how it
yeah.
evolves in the next couple of months. All right.
Thank you for having me. And if you are still watching the video, we have new support coming in for the European nationals. I mean, European Championship, and this is really really good. Like the support is insane for the deck. You can now bridge into Elf Notes, so you can actually play a side engine that is good into with it. So like grab a core brick while it's still cheap, and yeah, see you next time.
All right. See ya.